awesome. Now I've just got to see if, all right, excellent condition. See if I can get the shareable link, post that over. There's got to be an easy way to do that. Give it a couple seconds here to go over. Let me get everything set up with this and not that. This and that. And I'm actually going to scoot in a little bit so I got more room.
We can also just screen record ourselves.
Oh, I'm
put,
sure.
Like, clips out of what we talked about.
All right, so we do have a couple viewers, so we're going to go ahead and get started. So welcome. We have new equipment, as you can, well, you can't see yet. Hold on. Now you can see. We have new equipment. We have a green screen. Y'all can't tell that we have a green screen.
We are in North Dakota, home of the Dickinson State Blue Hawks right here.
It's a little chilly.
So, yeah, a little chilly in here, but we're going to make it.
We're going to make it. All right. So, love it. Jonathan, well, we need one more device to pull up comments because I can't see them at this point. But, man, had a fun week. Had some good games. I know it's a little late in the week. We're gonna be doing a show again real soon here. But let's talk about our friends at Temple Sporting Goods, powered by AdCraft. They make some great gear for your team, your business, whatever you have as a team. Cups. Shirts.
Yeah, so I know a lot of you coaches are familiar with BSN and as far as making shops through them. I'm not saying this because AdCraft just supports us and BSN doesn't, but I will say that I have been familiar with both settings and both has their advantages and cons. I love just the direct interaction we have with the AdCraft guys. Very easy, and they actually come out and seek you more instead of just saying once you're done, it's done, or if you're not interested in something, they always just check on you. It's not just about a dollar bill. They are just about building relationships, and they support NAIA football, which that's why we're all here. So give AdCraft a follow. These great guys over there.
Absolutely. Let's get to the scoreboard here. So we had Reinhardt defeating Kentucky Christian 42-14. Reinhardt came out mad and showed it.
Absolutely, Corey. And we talk about this stuff all the time. Kentucky Christian, I think, isn't far away from competing with Reinhardt, besides the fact that they got absolutely dominated in every phase. But what I will say is, Reinhardt still has that iron grip where physicality football still beats that air raid within the system. Reinhardt's had success with it, every year since they've joined NAIA football in the Mid-South. And, it's going to take Kentucky Christian matching that physicality to get their system to work. It's not just a finesse thing. Yeah. And Reinhardt definitely showed it.
Yeah, absolutely. So next, Olivet Nazarene comes out and beats St. Xavier 34-10. That one, St. Xavier did come back, but Olivet pulls away late.
Well, the Tigers, especially Tiger fans, have been telling us how special this team is. They made the postseason back-to-back seasons, but they're looking for that first playoff berth. They have officially punched it in. They are at the dinner table. Dare say, are they the best team in the Mid-States either division?
No, Concordia.
Yeah, okay. Well, you know what, Tigers, I'm rolling with you. I think you're the best team in the conference, regardless of division.
I think Concordia still.
I think you have absolutely impressed. I love how you get your skill guys in space. And defense hasn't been shabby either. I'm going with Olivet Nazarene making a run out of all those teams.
Just a great job for Olivet this week. 81 rushing yards on 31 and 35 attempts for St. Xavier. Really just kept that down. It was a really fun game to watch. Very much enjoyed it. And then in the Pacific Northwest, College of Idaho pulls away late against Eastern Oregon to clinch at least a share of the Frontier.
Right. College of Idaho, there's a big differentiation between our poll and the coaches' poll. They are way up there. I think they're getting rewarded for the last year. And they've done exactly what they're supposed to do this year. Their winning is not dominant, and people thought Eastern Oregon would give them a close game. So I'm eager to see how College of Idaho does in the playoffs against outside the Frontier.
Let's talk a little flag on that side. Weber beats St. Thomas 33-12 on a game that wasn't all that close. Ottawa beats Kansas Wesleyan 40-6, and Ottawa beats Midland 34-13. Ottawa is far and away the best team.
By far in that geographical area. And Weber did what they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
There's 3 teams in flag this year when they make it to Atlanta that you expect, to be there that last day. You got number 1 Kaiser that's undefeated, that's beat everybody that we just talked about. But those games are so competitive. And the crazy thing about flag is that, anyone can beat anybody on any given day. It's not necessarily like football. You're not going to have, per se, Bethany beating Kansas Wesleyan tomorrow in the parking lot. But flag football can be that way if the talent's close enough. So even though Kaiser's undefeated, they do need to still watch out for number 2 and number 3.
Yep, absolutely. So let's talk about our friends over at First Down Playbook. They sponsor our play of the week. Man, just a really great company to work with.
Yeah, absolutely. Just the fact that they can give you the digital playbook.
Yeah.
What a great resource for coaches, and not just for college coaches, but just for that average pee-wee football coach that needs some simple stuff laid down to get to the parents so they can study with the kids.
Yeah.
There's some competitive dudes out there
at every level. So let's take a look at our play this week.
Tigers will have a 3-receiver set to the near side, single coverage to the far.
Best team in the
McClendon,
division.
the lone running back on a 1st and 10 call. They hand the football off on the pass here to the near side. Graziano gets a nice kickoff block. First down, much more than 50. 35-20. He's got 1 man to beat. 25-20. 15-10. Touchdown Tigers. 67 yards to the near sideline. On a pitch and catch to Scotty Graziano.
Credit all of it Nazarene on the call. Let's take a look at how it draws up. This is definitely a 2-level RPO. Great job making the defense be wrong.
Right, absolutely. So you see the outside linebacker right there, number 4. If he crashes in, the only person responsible for that inside slot off the bubble is the free safety up top. And there's just so much ground to give into. Credit to the Z receiver, number 15, blocking his tail off. If you watched him in the video, he gets a couple guys and peels back smartly, doesn't get a penalty, and boxes them out like a basketball. Just St. Xavier was just beat by alignment there, especially when the RPO key crashed in. You got to give more responsibility to the defense and let the RPO guy just kind of slow play it. That was
when I saw this play live. The thing that made this my play of the week wasn't so much the that RPO stuff, although that is great, but it was really the blocking of 15 and 80 that paved the way for Graziano.
Absolutely.
To get there. If not for that, that's not a touchdown.
Whole team effort there.
Absolutely.
And you love a team that has receivers that can block their tails off like that. Stop block, do whatever they need to do.
So let's take a look at what is going to be the last NAIA media top 25 poll until we get to the playoffs. And through the playoffs, this will be our last one until we hit after Grambling. So starting at the bottom, we've got Faulkner coming in at 5-2 at 25. Waldorf at 24 at 6-3. Valley City State at 23 at 5-2. Kentucky Christian falls back after that loss to Reinhardt at 22, and Roosevelt jumps up a little bit there at 21. What stands out to you, John?
Usually our media poll gets it right. It's not just me and Corey. We say it every week.
Yep.
beautiful top 25 in my opinion here. I do wish us as a media entity could have got the Faulkner Kentucky Christian switch right, maybe.
Yeah.
Just with the same record and Faulkner being head to head, but it's understandable with Kentucky Christian that was so high, and just some poll inertia there. Cool to see Roosevelt hanging around, and Waldorf and Valley City, well deserved.
So let's take a look at the 20 through 16 here. Georgetown comes up a little bit here to 20 at 5-1. College of Idaho slides up a little bit to 19 at 3-0. Ovilus comes up a little bit at 18 at 8-1. St. Francis slides back a little bit, even after being it was an effective buy for them at 2-1, and Arizona Christian at 8-1 rounds out that 5.
Corey, look at Avila at number 18. They're on an 8-game winning streak. We talk about being in that pool of 20 in the at-large. I think Avila deserves some heavy consideration with their only loss being that first game against Bethel.
Yeah.
I really wish Avila had, another game left, but they really took care of business themselves. But, they had that impressive win over Kansas Wesleyan. That's where we wish we could get at least one out-of-conference game a year. But you look at that ranking right there, I know Georgetown College Idaho fans probably think they should be a lot higher. But, I mean, it just is what it is. St. Francis is COVID-bitten. Arizona Christian, congratulations, you're in the playoffs.
Absolutely. Let's take a look at 15 through 11 at 15. Benedictine keeps kind of moving up a little bit here at 7-2. Southeastern, who has officially shut it down.
Right, officially. And, I'm surprised that didn't slide back in our poll, just with the thoughts of that, but go ahead.
Yeah, Olivet Nazarene at 13 at 7-0. Dort at 12 with an 8-2 record, and Bethel of Kansas at 9-1 at that 11 spot.
Look for number 13 Olivet to make a run. I'm telling you, these guys are good. Got the chance to watch them a couple times this year. They're a group of guys that care about each other and play for each other. You see it in the way they play, the way they block, the way they tackle. Everybody's around the ball. Eager to see what Bethel can do in the playoffs, especially after that last sting against Kansas Wesleyan. Yeah. And Dort, do you get in?
Ooh, it's gonna be close. It's gonna be close on that one. I know their coaching staff's blood pressure is probably sky high right
Absolutely.
Now. At number 10, we have Dickinson State with that 9-0 record. Baker at number 9, 6-0. Reinhardt at 8, 8-0. Marion at number 7, 4-1. And Northwestern at 6 with their 8-1 record.
Corey, I'll let you go ahead. Go first.
Oh man, Dickinson State makes the top 10. That is fantastic. That's where they should be. Marion, they'll get to prove it this week.
Yeah, got the Franciscan Bowl.
Yep, and that's going to be. I've been saying
one of
it
these
now.
two are going to cancel each other out.
Yep.
For the playoffs.
Yep, both are not getting in.
Northwestern's definitely in number 6, but we're going to get to that later. Let's go ahead and get to top 5.
Top 5 is going to be very similar to the way it was last week. Concordia at 5, Lindsey Wilson at 4, Kaiser at 3, Grandview at 2 with 2 first-place votes, and Morningside at 1 with 4. No real change there except for a little bit of just points level things.
Right. These 5 teams have just been solid right there. What Concordia has done is nothing but impressive. I know I'm going with Olivet as the best team in the conference right now, but Concordia has those big wins over Indiana Wesleyan, St. Francis, Marion. They've done what they're supposed to do, and they'll have a chance to prove they're the best in the playoffs and make a run like they did 2 years ago.
Absolutely. So our top 4 media poll for flag is going to look very, very similar.
Hasn't changed in a couple weeks.
No, it hasn't. The top 4 teams are doing what they're supposed to. We've got Kaiser there with both first-place votes. I did actually update the records, so the records are right at least this week.
Job.
Ottawa at number 2 with that 8-1 record. Definitely 1, 2, and 3 are very close, and they could each beat each other on any given day. Weber at 6-2 and St. Thomas at 5-5. I think we get Kaiser St. Thomas this week for
Right.
flag, and then we get a little bit of time off. Get some conference championships late in the middle of the month.
I'm eager to see if St. Thomas can get a little bit better. They're outside that big three,
Yeah.
but they have talent, they have speed. Can they get a little bit better? And they have the best opportunity this weekend.
Yeah, they definitely do to jump on and bite Kaiser. Let's talk about our friends at 417 Helmets. They do a great job. I should have brought the UPike helmet. It would have looked real good right there in the middle of us. I will do that this next week. There. So mini helmets, custom helmets. They'll do anything. You got a picture, they'll put it on there.
Yeah, it's great for any age group. We talked about Pee Wee earlier. It'd be cool if I had a Wakulla Warriors Pee Wee helmet just to relive the good old days, or high school, middle school, college, whatever. Fantasy football, you got a logo, you'll put it on the helmet.
Do it. That would be fun. So, our offensive player of the week is Avila's Malik Nesbitt. John, I just cannot ignore a guy that goes for 250 rushing yards and 5 touchdowns.
We talk about quarterbacks winning this often, and there were a couple quarterbacks this week that put up huge numbers. But anyone that gets in the end zone 5 times and through the ground should win it, and put that offensive line with them.
Absolutely. Honorable mention this week to Union quarterback Jake Metters. 413 passing yards and 4 touchdowns is nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, and Union's getting so much better compared to where they were last year. Shout out to the Bulldogs in Barbersville, Kentucky.
Absolutely. On defense, we have St. Ambrose defensive lineman Ryan Zitkus. 4 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 7 total tackles. Was part of a unit that held St. Francis of Illinois to a singular rushing yard for the entirety of the day.
Yeah, I mean, anytime you're in the backfield that much causing havoc, you deserve player of the week.
Yep, absolutely. So, let's talk about some games of the week. We've got 3 big ones, 2 big ones, and one that I'm really interested to watch here. So, first off, we're going to have the Franciscan Bowl, our number 7 Marion versus number 17 St. Francis. It's just going to be a great game against 2 teams that really don't like each other that much.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I know we're not doing pick'em right now, but I'm going to go ahead and go with Marion, just because St. Francis not to their own, and both of them have had time off.
Yeah,
but I just think Marion's is coming in more battle tested.
Yeah, I definitely think so too. I'm definitely going with Marion there. College of Idaho goes to Carroll to clinch the Frontier. If Carroll wins, we got a messy 3-way scenario to deal with.
I don't think we're going to have to worry about that. I think College of Idaho embarrasses Carroll.
Ooh, I think it's close, but I think College of Idaho wins. If for me as a voter, and maybe me as on the selection committee,
Right.
I want to see College of Idaho prove that they can win big, because they haven't.
Absolutely. They've been just skating through. We know they have talent, but we don't think they're as good as last year's team.
Yeah.
But show something.
Absolutely. And then Benedictine versus Hastings. I want to really get a look at Benedictine's new offense that they're running. This will be the first time I'll get to see it. I know they streamed their scrimmage, but I want to see what it looks like in actuality.
It's good for the Ravens to get a game, especially with that last game in the fall in November when they took that 19-6 loss against Baker.
Mm-hmm.
Good to get on winning side, whether you make the playoffs or not, just get some momentum into the fall. But this game's not going to be close. I think it's going to be going to be very lopsided.
It's not going to be close, but I want to see, even in a big win, how good does Benedictine look? Does their offense look like they know what they're doing? Have they picked up the concepts in such a short period of time?
Absolutely.
So, let's do a little bracketology and pull up the poll here and see what we've got. Obviously, at this point, we've got Morningside, Grandview, Lindsey Wilson, Kaiser, Concordia, College of Idaho, Baker, Reinhardt, Dickinson State, Olivet Nazarene, and Arizona Christian. Did I say College of Idaho? College of Idaho hadn't clinched a spot.
You said.
My bad.
Important guys, this is the coaches poll.
Yep. So all of those, except for College of Idaho, have officially clinched a spot. So you've got at 7, Northwestern. They're in like Flynn. The winner of Marion and St. Francis.
Right.
Loser watches the playoffs from the house.
I agree.
And then you've got this grouping here at 16, 17, 18, and heck, I'll throw Avila in there at 19.
I think definitely they deserve it.
So you've got Georgetown, Dort, Benedictine, Avila.
It's important to know all the at-larges. I think the Marion St. Francis winner gets the first at-large.
Second at-large.
Who's Northwestern. Excuse me, Northwestern, and the winner of St. Francis Marion, they're in. So that's 2 teams. So at this 16 through 19 spot, we're choosing out of 4 teams which 2 would deserve to go. Let's repeat that again. We got Georgetown Tigers, we got the Dort Defenders, the Benedictine Ravens, and then we also have Avila right there in the KCAC.
My pick for this, I'm going to go Georgetown Dort. I think with Dort being above Benedictine, with that flip-flop there from 17, 18, that is huge. Huge for the Defenders.
I agree. I think Georgetown is definitely in. That's the 3rd team. And then I think the last spot, it's going to be close. I think Dort's going to get the benefit of the doubt of being in one of the tougher conferences that are top-heavy. But then,
playing them close.
But I think Avila is going to get a good look as well.
Yeah, with that one loss to Bethel, how much does A beats B beats C?
I mean, you can say the same thing
there
about Benedictine though and Dort.
Sure, but in that with Avila there, how much do you say? Okay, well Bethel beat them, but Bethel lost to Kansas Wesleyan, but Kansas Wesleyan lost to Avila. We've got this KCAC triangle.
I think Kansas Wesleyan being at number 23 in the coaches poll is Avila's best friend.
Oh, it absolutely is, because that becomes a top 25
We talked about scenarios and the criteria that the committee looks at, and that's going to be a badge of honor for Avila.
Absolutely. That's a top 25 win, which, if you count it at this point, no other team has. Georgetown doesn't have one.
No other at-large has it.
Dort doesn't have one.
They all have quality losses.
Right, exactly. Avila is the only one with a win over a top 25 team. Man, it's going to be it's a razor-thin margin.
And I'm going to go ahead and say this. I know Grandview's number 2, and they are, in my personal poll, they are the number 1 team. But Grandview smashing Benedictine. And, are they going to wonder about that margin of loss? They weren't competitive with Grandview.
No.
And in reality, their offense wasn't competitive with Baker.
But it's a completely different offense now.
Cool.
It's a completely different coaching staff. How much does that?
And I think that should work against them.
I honestly do too. But that's not part of
I agree. It's not the black and white criteria.
Yeah, that is not.
If I had to go with it, Georgetown gets the 3rd at-large, and then it's going to go right down to the wire between Avila and Dort for that last at-large playoff spot in the NAIA playoffs.
I'm going with the Defenders there. With the 2 losses by both 1-score losses.
What's crazy is they both deserve to get in, but if I had to go with a team, it would be Dort.
Yeah, I think, man, Defenders, y'all going to be sitting on the edge of your seats for this thing here. Now, let's take a look real quick. Our good friend Roger dropped me an interesting set of matchups for going forward. I think the big one is who travels.
Right.
And I think you kill 2 birds with 1 stone if you match up.
That's not something we can get on the screen, is it? Roger, shout out, man. It was a great meeting you. What was it? 2 Decembers ago, basically. Yeah, Roger's been an avid fan of NAIAFBALL. Really appreciate you. And I know I need to personally get in that Discord, interact with you a little bit more. But this is Roger's playoff scenarios. And, I really like what he has going here.
I have only one gripe, and that's you've got St. Francis and Marion here.
Yeah, that's Roger's an MSFA guy. He's a mid-states guy. So you got to understand a little bit. I understand that, Roger. But yeah,
and this,
definitely.
And this was if the season ended last
week.
week.
Well, to be fair, I mean both of them were playoff caliber teams. I really would like Georgetown to either go to Concordia from Kentucky to Michigan. That's not that bad of a game. But I really like that Olivet Nazarene Lindsey Wilson matchup.
That would be a great
And I love Dort and Grandview.
Ooh,
love it.
Dort and Grandview.
Yeah, some heck of a matchup.
Dort and Grandview has the makings of a 6-3 game, with their defense in the running game shortening the clock. Holy cow! I know I've got friends down in West Palm, and when I said, "Hey, what would you think about getting Arizona Christian and getting to see up close and personal the thicker kicker?"
The thicker kicker. What a unit. I don't think. Well, the good thing is if Arizona Christian did do that by NAIA rules, they would be flying.
Yes.
Because it's way out that radius.
And anybody else is going to have to be flying into Kaiser anyway. So why don't you just go ahead and have one set of flights into West Palm?
Right.
It really does help out the NAIA there. The Frontier North Star, Dickinson, I have been thinking about that matchup as well. I think that's what would happen.
Well, that's usually what goes there. Or you're going to see like 2 years ago where Northwestern travels to Dickinson.
Yeah, you either get a Dickinson versus a GPAC team or the North Star versus the Frontier.
And just off the top of my head, I think Baker and Reinhardt has been a matchup before, which, I mean, probably couldn't happen again.
That's a fun one.
You got to remember, NAIA is going to try to keep the first rounds close. If that makes sense.
If you're Dickinson State, you have absolutely got to win that game against the Frontier. Because I know these Dickinson State people are sick and tired of getting disrespected. You want to get some respect? Win it.
And that game against Northwestern 2 years ago was great for them.
Absolutely. Northwestern Marion would be an interesting game as well.
Northwestern, we talk about them all the time. Well, yes, you struggled you've been one and done basically the past 2 years off the top of my head.
Once against
one and
Dickinson.
Done. You've been living off this thing of we're that close to beating Morningside. Well, I mean, show it in the playoffs and find Morningside somewhere in that playoffs. Wouldn't it be something, Corey, if the last 4 teams standing were all from Iowa?
That'd be crazy. 20 teams get in? No, it's 16 teams, 12 autos, 4 at large.
Yes.
Probably should mention that. So your 12 conference champions, regardless of their spot in the poll, make it in. Then you have 4 at large there. We're saying is Northwestern. Who's my second one? Marion, Dort, and Georgetown there. It's going to be really interesting. We're going to be back on doing a live show after the NAIA gets done with theirs. We are trying real hard to get a special guest.
Something that's going to be very relevant to what we talk about.
Absolutely. If you haven't seen our YouTube channel,
please subscribe. That's the best way to support us. We would love for this thing to blow up and do shows all the time. And especially because I think we're going to be here throughout the playoffs on YouTube.
Yeah, at this point, I'm still trying to get back up with Twitter and figure out if we can get back on Twitter with the green screen back there and the effects. It forces me kind of away from Twitter at this point. So if you want to see us there, let Twitter know. But anyway, it's going to be a fun 4 days.
Yes, I can't believe that we're getting playoff season basically in the spring.
It has been far too long. Let me look at the NAIA's Facebook and see if I can confirm the stream on there. I have not seen it, or I don't see it on here. We will confirm where that stream is going to take place because I know y'all are going to watch. Watch as well
and
as we are.
I know there's going to be 16 teams at least having watch parties. Guys, we'll be here to talk about it if you want to hear it. Most of your coaches probably want to turn it off. I don't blame them because we're going to be brutally honest. It's not like it's my full-time job to do this. Get paid a little bit, which is nice. But, we're going to be here to tell you the stuff you want to talk about and get after it.
Absolutely. So, for John Cooper, I'm Corey Thorpe, and we are signing off.
See you guys.